Thanks for tuning in, Guardians. So a while back we heard a ton of hype about threat level, and it was the most sought after shotgun anybody wanted in the game. But then I was like, hey, I got me a threat level. Let me see what it does against Parcel of Stardust. Those are the perks that are on the Parcel: full auto loading holster, major spec, range masterwork. And then we have smooth bore, full choke. Not the most sought after barrels on this shotgun, but I do have air assault and trench barrel with 8 rounds, tac mag. Another major spec on it with the masterwork for handling, only at handling 3. But I'm not really focused on numbers or really the perks, more so as I am about how the way the guns fight. That's all I really care about, is how do they fight? Are they gonna be beasts on the run and gun? That's what we're about to find out today. Side by side, Parcel of Stardust beating the crap out of it in stats. But that doesn't really matter because it has a faster firing rate, so it's expected. I was hoping that air assault was going to give me a tighter pellet, but it did not. At first I thought it did, but it looks like it's completely random. All air assault is doing is basically giving you a similar type Icarus mod. That's really all it does. Increase handling while you're in the air, which it does pull off some crazy headshots from time to time, but sadly air assault doesn't do anything to the pellets. Just all about the barrel with that department. So enough of this, let's get on to Parcel of Stardust. Parcel has a lightweight frame, which lets you move around a lot quicker with it. I also have this in full auto like I was showing you earlier, so it does help the rate of fire a tiny bit, but not nearly as much as it used to pre-nerf. But like I said, I'm not really focused on the perks that this weapon has. I'm just going off basically how the gun just feels during combat. I don't have anything doing any kind of bonus buffs like I do on the threat level, which does have trench barrel. But as you can see, it does one-shot all these orange bar cabals, no matter if I'm doing body or headshot. The only reason it won't do a one-shot is if I'm too far away in range and there's too much spread, such as right here. Normally that shot will land, but it's all random on how the pellets decide how they want to spray. So got to be kind of, it's not as consistent as some other guns like a Fusion and things like that. You can kind of control what's going to happen with the rays. Pellets are completely random. It's out of your control, basically. Sometimes you'll pull off some ridiculous headshots, and then other times you'll have to go ahead and shoot twice to get that down kill. But against any kind of red bar, it's normally always going to be a one-shot kill against them. Really, the only difference you ever really see is going to be in the range on the orange bars or the heavier, tankier Cabal. I wanted to try it on Cabal because they're among the hardest AI in Gambit Prime and just in the game in general for their just beefiness and overall health that they have. I think second would probably be the Scorn and then the Hive, and then Vex probably being the easiest, but I wanted to try it out against Cabal because I think it's more important to see what it does against harder AI, basically. When you stack Parcel up against a yellow bar, it's usually a 4 to 5 shot kill. It just really depends on, again, the range and how far away you are, and then 3 shots on the Brutes. So they are, a little bit more tankier, but, still does the job. Now let's move it over to threat level. Let's see how threat level handles this situation after we down this guy 5 shots. Really that was 4, but let's try threat level now. So it's always going to be a 2-shot no matter what the range is with threat level. That 10-point decrease that you have with threat level is where it kind of slows the gun down a little bit. Even though it does fire faster, it can kind of hurt it. But if you get trench barrel going, that's when you kind of get it at the same damage type as the Parcel of Stardust, but the benefit is it shoots faster than Parcel. So you're able to down it a little bit quicker, but you have to activate Trench Barrel, and I think Trench Barrel is probably the best perk to have on this shotgun for the fire rate and just the overall damage lacking you have with it to kind of catch it up to the Parcel. So that's where I was kind of confused on it. I was like, well, if Parcel's got lightweight and moves around a lot quicker, and this is taking more shots, it kind of makes threat level seem a little bit like the Prolium of shotguns in a way. But that's not to say that it's never going to be useful at all. It just means that you're going to have to take more shots. But the cool thing is that it can hold 25 in reserves, and you can only hold around 18 with the Parcel of Stardust. So you get more damage by having more ammo in a way, but not really, because when you are far away in range, this gun really doesn't perform that well. The reload is okay on it, and everything else is okay on it. It's just, you just seem like you're popping off way too many shots at times. But if you put this up against like red bar ads, it'll shred faster because it doesn't need that extra damage. But I just found myself kind of just spraying all over the place with this weapon and not really doing the kind of work that Parcel does. And I think a lot of people will agree with that. But I was a little bit disappointed in a way when I first got threat level. I thought it was going to be an amazing shotgun because everybody was hyping it up like it was the better a kilo shotty, basically, which I'll agree. I think that it probably is better than a kilo, but I don't know if I'll ever main this gun. I don't really see the point, because if you have a Parcel of Stardust, you get the lightweight, you get the better range. Of course, you have rapid fire frame, but I mean, Parcel just has it all, kind of, you know, and especially if you can get it with auto loading, with Rampage on top of that, or like I have, full auto and auto loading holster. I mean, I could take 2 out with 1 shot right there, as you saw, because I weakened them. It just kind of it just goes, man. Thing will just keep shredding. And threat level, I just don't see it performing that well in PvE. I don't know about PvP and Crucible. I mean, maybe a lot of people like it there, but I almost think that if I was a shotgun user in the Crucible, I'd probably still go with Parcel of Stardust just for the lightweight, the extra range, the extra damage. I mean, I think that full auto is a must-have with Parcel, just like I think Trench Barrel is a must-have with threat level. But I don't think threat level really can stack up very well to Parcel of Stardust. I think it gets smashed. Being able to do less shots, even though you hold less ammo, the fact that it has more range and more damage means you don't have to be as close to target to kill them. You can pop off some really good headshots with it. You don't have to worry about the pellet spread as much as you do with the threat level, because when you have pellet spread, this is going to make threat level even more weak, and pellet spread with this is still going to make it weaker, but not nearly as bad. So my overall take on it is, I think threat level has its place in like strikes and maybe nightfalls, but in a competitive sense, I almost don't see the point. I'm not finding the reason to use it, to be honest with you. I think it's just going to be one of those fun play around shotgun types, but if you don't have Trench Barrel or Rampage or something that's going to buff it up a little bit more, you're kind of just wasting the slot of your primary in a way, in my opinion. This is what threat level is like against the red bar ads, as I was saying earlier. It shreds them like nothing, you know, so it makes it a better strike and nightfall weapon. But I really only say that because it shoots faster and it holds more ammo, and if you have Trench Barrel or Rampage, just stacking that up with it. But when it gets to the harder type AI, threat level doesn't really compete unless you can get Trench Barrel proc. Then it will do the same amount of damage as Parcel. But if you aren't in a situation where you can get close enough to melee, say that Blackout's on or something that just prevents you from being able to proc the Trench Barrel, you're kind of just screwed in a way. So that's really just my thoughts on it, man. Let me know what you guys think about it. The weapons that I use are used because they're the most effective, and I don't think this gun's that effective compared to Parcel. I'm not saying that it's the worst shotgun in the game by any means. It's a really great shotgun. The fact that you can get Trench Barrel on it, and it's a primary, so you don't get that 10% fall off because of it, you know, being an energy like a Kilo has, that can kind of pay off. But if I'm ever doing anything where it's competitive and speed matters and performance is really all it's about, I mean, I say farm out a nice Parcel, get Rampage on that, get full auto on it, get auto loading holster so you never have to reload it. But I'm not going to say this gun sucks. It's really fun to shoot, but when it comes to fighting with it, how does the gun fight? That's what it's more about to me, in my opinion. It's got to fight well, and I can't sit there and waste a lot of shots trying to kill ads because I wasn't close enough, I couldn't down them, or had too much spread, or just, you know, whatever the reason might be, or I can't proc Trench Barrel. It's just not worth it to me when I have that better option in Parcel with the range, the lightweight, better handling, just all around, just a beast, man. I've been kind of disappointed in the raid weapons lately because I feel like a raid weapon should be better than a gun you get all the time from playing Gambit, such as Parcel. So I was expecting a lot more, especially when I saw it had Air Assault and Trench Barrel. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be my new, you know, Gambit shotty. But then within 5 minutes of playing with it, it actually took me to shoot one Cabal with it. It was an orange bar. I saw that it didn't take him out, and I was like, what? No way, dude. So then I went to light.gg and saw why it was not doing as much damage, even though it said it was the same amount of impact. And then, I mean, of course I thought that it probably would do less because it shot faster, but at the same time I was like, well, it might still be good though. But I don't know, man. I just didn't really, you know, Air Assault and Trench Barrel are two really great perks to have on a shotgun, and it's still taking like 3 shots right there on that red bar here. And then on this next red bar, it's going to take 2 shots because I'm too far away. Like, that wasn't even that far away. That still should have killed it, you know? And I get that I do have some crappy barrels on it, But even with that being said, it's still always going to take one more extra shot over the parcel to take a target out, unless I proc the trench barrel, and it's just never going to have the same amount of range, so you're always going to have that fall off happening. If you're going to be in a situation where you can proc the trench barrel, no doubt, like a standstill target where you're all like as a fire team lined up against it, yeah, I would probably go with it in that situation. But when it comes to regular combat, all day, Parcel of Stardust, gonna fucking take it. Y'all take it easy, bros, and I'll catch you next time.
In space.